Hey everyone, what's going on? West Productions 100 here, bringing you another response video. This is also another response video to the YouTube channel ReviewTechUSA. I did one mainly on his Blockbuster video from a couple weeks ago, and I've been meaning to get around to doing this, his GameStop videos. He's done a lot of GameStop videos over the past, I would say at least months, but like it's gone even longer than that. But I've been meaning to get a response to his GameStop video, so let's begin. So in his latest GameStop video, as of the recording of this, he talks about a survey that was conducted on teenagers and people in their young 20s, and where those said teenagers and younger adults like to get their video games, for the ones who play video games. For the ones who play video games, yeah. So according to that survey, a lot of people in that age bracket like to download their games by downloading them, from places like Steam or from the console stores on the Microsoft or Sony consoles or Nintendo. And so, one thing that he does is he makes a prediction that all these GameStops will eventually go away, which may be true. I'm not saying there's no truth to that or that he's exaggerating. There definitely could be truth to that. There could be a day where, just based on what's going on right now, that all the GameStops could be gone, or a bunch of them are closed down. Maybe there's a few remaining for various reasons. Maybe they're strategically located so they make some kind of profit or something like that. He mentioned, for example, driving a lot in the recent video on the surveys. What I mean is that he mentioned like, oh, you would go to the store when he was growing up by driving there and stuff like that. Well, that's not entirely how everyone gets their games. Some people live in the city, a major city, and so they don't need to rely on a car, including teenagers, to get the video games. They can walk there, or they can bike there, or they can use public transportation, and that's accessible, and that's of decent quality at the most. That doesn't make it too much of a hassle. So I think that was an interesting comparison because he spoke in broad generalizations about this, and he does this. He seems to do this a lot. He seems to have a tendency to speak in generalizations, like how he was like, oh, when I was growing up, you drive to the store, and it's like that just tells me like this guy, he lived in a certain area, like a suburb and stuff like that. And I'm just here to say like that's not entirely how it is for everyone who grew up going to a brick and mortar store. Sometimes some people were able to get around without the need of a car, especially if you live in the city. So that was one point I wanted to make right there. Another point is again with the generalizations. He mentions that GameStop will probably die, will probably go out of business, which again makes sense to that. But then he rushes to the conclusion that because GameStop goes out of business, therefore all video game stores go out of business, or therefore the experience of going to a retail brick and mortar store to buy a video game is going out the window. And he does the same thing with Blockbuster videos. So my main problem with this is I just don't fully agree with him. I don't fully believe this to be true because there's exceptions to that. It's the same. I mean, my example for that is with the video rental stores. Going back to Blockbuster, sure, Blockbuster is almost dead, but Blockbuster, even back when it was at its height, was not the only place where you could rent movies from or rent video games from. There were other chains, and there were also independent stores, which make up, in my opinion, a lot of the remaining market on physical rentals, or smaller chains like Family Video, for example. To say that because Blockbuster goes out the window, therefore physical video rental went out the window is to me an exaggeration of the situation. There's other places as of right now where you can go and rent movies, physical copies, not just online. There are certain types of video rental stores, like independent mom and pop shops, those kind of places that were around before Blockbuster, and a lot of those places that were gobbled up by Blockbuster, by the way, the corporate giant coming in and taking over the mom and pop shop, like destroying the competition. So taking them out and then leaving it with just the Blockbuster. So everyone kind of gets into this mindset of like Blockbuster or nothing because corporate America, gets people thinking like having this mindset of like it's either our way or the highway. It's either we exist and we provide you a service or a product such as a movie rental, or we go away, we die, and therefore no more physical video rentals. Your experiences as a kid or your experiences as a young adult, those will be gone forever. Despite the fact that there's exceptions to that, there's things to suggest that that's not entirely the situation. I'm noticing with Rich, in particular with his videos about GameStop and about Blockbuster, is he's making these generalizations. He's saying things like, oh, because Blockbuster's gone, therefore video rentals are gone. Because GameStop's going to die soon, therefore the concept of buying a physical copy of a video game will die soon. Will die too. You cannot. And he makes it sound like no one will ever be able to do that again. Even though that's not true. Even though that's not true, Rich. There are independent video game stores and independent smaller chains that sell movies, that sell video games. There are independent mom and pop shops that sell video games. I know because I've been to them. I know they exist. There's even some that provide a whole variety of different games, including Atari 2600 copies. I've been to one where they sell, or they provide games from all sorts of eras, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. Like, they got freaking, I just said, Atari 2600, they got Sega Genesis games, they got games from the Super Nintendo, they even got Rob the Robot, who I know of because of the Angry Video Game Nerd review videos. I thought it was pretty freaking sweet because I never grew up with that stuff. I never grew up with those types of video games, but I thought that was really awesome to be able to go to an entertaining critic like the Angry Video Game Nerd review videos, and then watch all those videos of all these games I never played, probably never play, or probably never get around to playing, and then actually go to a store and see all these things. I'm like, oh, I actually know what that is. I know what that is. I've seen this online and stuff like that. I've seen these videos, and this is cool to me because I'm someone of a history buff actually. So seeing this stuff from video game history is pretty cool. My point I'm trying to make here is that I don't entirely believe. I'm not going to rush to conclusions and say because GameStop's going to go out of business, therefore the concept of physically selling video game copies is going to go out of business too. We don't fully know that, and I mean maybe it could possibly happen, but I just don't think it will 100%. Maybe the majority of the market will be dominated by digital downloads, but I think, and I believe there will be a demand for some kind of physical copy of something. Like maybe video games we won't be able to get it anymore, or maybe you'll have to do what like Apple did with their laptops and buy some kind of a CD adapter or something like that, and then put the CD into that adapter, or put or DVD adapter, put the DVD into that. I mean maybe that's where we're going. Maybe because maybe these companies will see that, and I think they do see that because again I just mentioned Apple, and there's other places out there. There's other companies that sell DVD adapters and CD adapters. So clearly there's companies that know that there's a demand by certain people that still want these things. So I'm not entirely convinced that the concept of brick and mortar buying of movies and video games are going to go away. What I think is going to happen is that there will be a decline from the corporate companies. I think that's a possibility, and we're already seeing it. In fact, we've already seen it with Blockbuster, and same with GameStop. There will be a decline. GameStop may or may not fully go out of business. Who knows? Maybe GameStop will be around. Like I said, there's smaller chains out there that still are around that have like less than 20 stores, but they're still around. Maybe what GameStop might have to do is they may have to start trying to provide older copies, older games as well, or try to provide other accessories in addition to that. Like I mentioned with the with the newer consoles coming out, for instance, people still have to go and buy those newer consoles. So perhaps GameStop will have that. Again, am I saying that this is going to save GameStop? Probably not in the way of what it is now, like how GameStop has thousands of locations. They may have to really downgrade, maybe have to really downsize, maybe to pick particular markets. And when I say particular markets, I mean certain areas or locations that are going to help them stay afloat. Because again, in some businesses, your location where you position your retail store matters. If you're in a bad location, that's not convenient for customers. Customers are less likely to go to your restaurant or your store or your other type of retail. And same thing with GameStop. So they may have to try and figure out what locations are available and necessary in order to stay afloat, and that may include major cities. Because again, the walkability of the major cities, public transportation of major cities means more people are willing to go out and go to places and stuff like that. Whereas in the suburbs or a small town, you need a car to literally get around everywhere, or at least in some of those places, perhaps most of those places. I'm sure there's some suburbs, depending on where you live in the suburb, where it's more walkable than other parts of the suburb. Like if you live closer to a downtown part of a suburb, where there's a train station nearby, where there's more of a hub of activity near a train station that connects to a major city. If you live closer to that part, like if you live within walking distance of that downtown area, then yeah, you really don't need a car as much because you can walk or bike to that downtown area. Where someone who lives 30 minutes by car would probably need to, most of the time, take a car. Might maybe take a bike on occasion, especially when the weather's nice and warm, because fuck riding a bike during the cold winter. Once you're really bundled up. I mean, there's some people do that, but doesn't seem ideal compared to driving. But again, anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that I feel like Rich really generalizes here with some of his arguments or some of his predictions. I think it's easy. Okay, so with predictions, I see where he's going. He's trying to make a broad generalized prediction here. That GameStop will die, and therefore, and retail in general will just go away. However, I'm not as convinced, because when it comes to predicting the future, sometimes there are things that we just don't see, that are not apparent to us, or that do not occur to us. There's smaller details. So yeah, maybe brick and mortar retail will go down, and it probably is going to go down, really high probability in general. However, to say that retail in general, physical retail in general, is going to be completely replaced by online shopping is something I'm not as confident in believing that prediction. Because again, I feel like there will continue to be a demand for physical retail shopping. Maybe what might need to happen is that some of these retail companies, especially smaller ones like mom and pop shops, might need to adapt as well. Maybe some of their business needs to be done online. They can't fully rely on physical retail, physical customers coming to the door all the time. Maybe sometimes they will have to adapt to an online market where some of their sales, are online. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if there's local retail stores or bigger retail stores where maybe even half or most of the actual sales are actually sales from online shopping and stuff like that. But they have the retail store for their customers who want the retail experience, which I don't think is going to go away completely. I think that the retail experience of going to the store and looking at the products will still be there in some form. Heck, maybe a long time down the road in the very far future, or near future perhaps, when virtual reality becomes more powerful and more accessible, and people can perhaps go to a virtual store, a virtual brick and mortar store, and look at the products as if they were in a real store and pick and choose what they want. Because again, you don't need to worry about the cost of having a physical location. You don't need to have the cost of physically shipping the products there and stuff like that. And also, I want to actually, since we're talking about predictions here and stuff like that, I can see a possible future with movies and video games where there could be a future potentially for physical copies, potentially. Perhaps what could happen is that if someone like myself wants a physical copy of a movie, let's say Star Wars, A New Hope, for instance, and I want the very first edition with all the special editions that were made after it, the very first copy that was on home video. What I can see happening is that you just order it online. You request it from, let's say, Disney, since they're the distributor and advertiser of the Star Wars movies, so probably Disney would probably handle that. Whereas Lucasfilm is more about the actual producing. They're in charge of the producing of it. That's contrary to popular belief. So yeah, I order it from them, and then I get my copy shipped in the mail, or something like that. So I still think there's going to be somewhat of a demand for a physical product, of entertainment products. I don't see that going away anytime soon. Now, maybe in the future there will be a chance of that, but maybe not. As for Rich's experience as a child or a younger adult going into a physical store, again, he makes these predictions, these generalizations about kids these days will never experience that, which again is not entirely true. Even by the logic of his own argument, it's not true, because those places still exist. So technically, yes, a child or a teenager or a young adult like myself can still go to a video rental store, can still go to a video game store that's not a GameStop, by the way. I'm talking about independent place. There's even places that are independent comic book shops. There's places that are there's all sorts of retail places. So I understand what he means. I understand why he's saying those things, that a kid these days could never experience that, because they can't experience that. Rich, I don't know why you keep saying that, in your videos on GameStop and the one you made on Blockbuster, because it's not completely true. Sure, the experience of going to a Blockbuster is gone, unless you live in where that one location is, But aside from that, there are still places where there's a physical video rental store. There's still places where you can physically buy or rent video games from that are not GameStop. So I don't know why Rich does this again, but he makes it seem like Blockbuster goes away, therefore video rental stores go away altogether. It's and same with GameStop. Once GameStop goes out of business completely, or the majority of the stores are gone, kids or teens will never be able to fully experience going to a game store and buying a physical copy of a game. Despite the fact that there's other places out there that do that, Rich. I don't know why we allow corporate America to take over, to convince us so much, or to warp our worldview that it's either their business that exists that sells their product or sells their services, or that concept doesn't exist anymore. You can't go do that anymore, because it's either our business is there or we go out of business and you can't experience it anymore. It's that's not true though. Again, there's independent video game stores, there's independent movie rental stores. I understand again why he talks in these generalized terms. Again, the day GameStop goes out of business, let's say it does go out of business, guess what? I can still myself go to a video game store that's not GameStop, because they'll still be there in some form. I guarantee it. Or maybe, I just saw this right now, but conventions, for instance, you can still go to a convention like a Comic-Con, and you can buy physical copies of movies, you can buy artwork, you can still go and buy physical stuff at a trade show or at a convention. So I think that there's always going to be some kind of physical retail at least for a while. And when I say a while, I'm talking like decades or centuries. Maybe in the very far future, a millennium from now, maybe everything will be digitized somehow, and therefore there won't be physical retail. But I'm also kind of skeptical of that. Again, the reason for that is because human beings are all different in their mindsets. We all have different tastes and preferences. We all have different ways of doing things. We all have different ways of wanting to do things. Some of us want to go and shop when it comes to shopping. Want to still shop physically. Even some younger people. And I don't care what a survey says. Like, here's the thing about surveys. Since I haven't brought that up yet, we're 20 minutes into this response video. Here's the thing about surveys: is they don't entirely capture the market that they're surveying. For instance, like even in the survey he shows, some of the people surveyed still want to buy physical copies of video games, even though they were in the minority. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean so that even says that there's still people my age and younger who still want to go buy physical copies of video games. And even with that, like again, that's just a survey. So there's plenty of people in that age range that were not surveyed, that are going to have the opinion of when to go download online or not. There's also the concept. I mean, not the concept. I don't know why I said concept, but there's also teens and kids and young adults around the world. Depending on where you live, you may still have to get a physical copy of something because the internet connection may not be as good. So there's that also. I mean, like when we go to space, when we go on space missions, I still hope that's a thing. By the way, I long to see us go into space. I think especially initially when we first start settling places, there's not going to be the infrastructure for the internet. So yeah, the demand for possibly for brick and mortar physical copies of things, even if the physical copy you have has a digitized copy within it, so you get some kind of like cartridge with a digital copy in it instead of like a CD. You still need that physical thing to play the movie or to watch the video game while you're, because people want entertainment. You don't necessarily need entertainment, but let's be honest, we all love entertainment. And in the near future, when people are on Mars, hopefully, or the moon, or space, or space station, there's gonna be times where people are gonna be mind-numbingly bored and they need entertainment, or they want entertainment to keep their mind occupied. And that's why entertainment's gonna be a thing. So yeah. So again, I'm not saying Rich is 100% wrong. What I am saying is that I don't entirely agree with the way he's predicting things, or some of these assertions or conclusions he comes to. I don't believe them to be entirely true. Am I saying that they're completely wrong 100%? No, I'm not. There is some truth to what's going on here. There is a move or a switch from physical retail, brick and mortar retail, physical products to digital products in some industries. That being said, there are still people who also want physical goods, physical copies of those same products in said industries. And just because maybe the majority, we're going in the direction of digital products, and maybe the majority, I don't believe that means that everyone will just be buying digital. I don't think that, again, because unless the infrastructure for buying physical products is not there, I think that there's still going to be some people where there's a demand for it. There's going to be some people who desire to have a physical copy of a movie or a video game, for instance. Again, yeah, maybe they're not going to be in the majority, but I think the demand might still be there. I also hear talk about the consoles with like the discless consoles. I mean, if that does happen, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that could happen. If that were to happen, maybe Microsoft, Sony will try and compensate for that with again adapters, like what Apple did. There might be like a CD video game adapter where it has to, maybe to attach it with a USB cord or something like that into the newer PlayStation, newer Xbox. That's a possibility. I mean, again, they did it with Apple. They did it with computers, like with DVD drives and stuff like that. So why could you not do the same thing with a video game console? I mean, there's also comic books, for instance. There's still comic book shops around. Those haven't gone away completely. There's digital comic books online. People still buy physical comic books from smaller named comic book stores or independent mom and pop comic book shops. Same applies to bookstores. We're seeing a rise of mom and pop bookstores, mom and pop bookstores, and a decline in corporate bookstores. I think that's interesting, and I kind of like that because I know Rich mentioned I'm missing the feeling of being in a corporate video store like Blockbuster or a corporate video game store like GameStop. But I, on the other hand, have a fondness for small business video game rental stores or video game stores or small business bookstores or small business movie rental places. I have a fondness for those places too. I think there's something nice and appealing about those places, those small businesses, compared to the large corporate businesses. And there's appeal to me about those kind of places that you can't get with the large corporate chains. There's appeal to me about a small ran video game store. There's something about those places to me that I find appealing that GameStop either can't replicate or would have a very hard time of doing. And same applies to Blockbuster. There's something about mom and pop shops that I find appealing, or small businesses for that matter. A small business that's a video rental store. I find something charming about those kind of places that a Blockbuster or a Family Video or some other chain of video rental stores for me could not replicate, or again would have a hard time doing so. Okay, so we're basically almost a half hour at this point in. Thank you again for watching. I'm just going to cut it off at this point, and I might make more videos in regards to Rich, especially if he brings up more GameStop videos and makes more points about them, and I want to maybe make comments about those particular points. So again, this was a video response that was in the making for a while now. I've been so busy with stuff, I've been just exhausted, and before anything else, I just want to get this done and get my voice out there to be heard by everyone else. So again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you check out the rest of my videos, check out the rest of my work on this channel, and thank you again, awesome. Thank you again so much, and have an awesome day.